grown, in a pace with which probably no other qualification has grown. And there is a reason for it, because risk management has. Hi guys, and welcome to another video by MentorBase YouTube channel. My name is Alan Arvind and I'm a CFA charter holder, and today we're going to be discussing about the course of financial risk management, which is given by GART, which is basically a body based out of US on risk management professionals and the field and the concepts and the skills, right? So a lot of students have questions as to whether I should pursue FRM or not. What is the salary of FRM professionals? How difficult is the exam? Should I combine with this with CFA? So all these questions, if you have, so then this video is the right video that probably will help you in getting that correct guidance. And without wasting any more time, let me just get started with what exactly needs to be discussed, right? So let's start with first talking about the designation itself. Okay, so what I wanted to show in this is I've actually shown you various other designations in the industry, which is not just risk management. Maybe CFA, maybe it's in alternative investment, maybe it is in legal analysis. So all of these qualifications, if you see in the table right now, right, you can see that FRM has actually started in 1996, right? And if you talk about the number of members that have come up in such a short period, it's about 2.65 lakhs members, right? Even if you compare that with CFA just has about 1.75 in the same period. So the growth of FRM, specifically after 2008, has been tremendous. Okay, it has grown, in a pace with which probably no other qualification has grown. And there is a reason for it, because risk management has become a place wherein a lot of regulations have cropped up, because of which there is a requirement for a formal education in risk management as demanded by a lot of companies. And even if you do not know the qualification, but at least the concepts are demanded by the companies who recruit for risk management, right? So if you talk about in terms of the members, there is no question. Yes, the membership has grown big time. Now let's talk about how did this qualification actually come into. And it's funny that it's actually created over a discussion, in a pub wherein two risk management professionals discuss as to, probably there's a need for a formal committee or a formal community of risk management professionals so they can share what they learn, right? Because that's how even CFA has been, created. Because in every field, be it accounting, be it finance, be it marketing, there are best practices which people learn through experiences, and that experience needs to be shared with people who want to enter this industry, so they are updated with whatever is going on, right? So in the similar way, it's just a fun fact that this qualification was actually discussed by Mark Lore and Lev Brodowski. Both were risk management professionals. In fact, Mark Lore is a big businessman right now. He owns an NBA club also. So just a fun fact was to remember that this is how risk management qualification like FRM has actually taken birth. So you should always take serious any conversations that you have had actually in a restaurant or a pub, right? Now, who is eligible? So the eligibility is pretty simple. It is not as complex as CFA or any other qualifications. Anyone can register. There is no minimum qualification required. Even if you're a 12th pass, you can still register for the exam. However, to get the membership, you need at least 2 years of relevant experience, as opposed to CFA, which requires 4 years of relevant experience. Here, you require 2 years of relevant experience. So even if you are an undergraduate and you feel that you want to explore the area of risk management, then you can clear the 2 exams. Anyways, it is just 2 exams, right? There's only one condition that every candidate needs to remember, is that once you've completed your part 1, you need to complete your part 4 within 4 years of the part 1 exam. I'll repeat that again. You need to complete the part 2 exam before 4 years of completing part 1. So that means if you do not do that in that gap of 4 years, then your membership will expire and you'll have to re-register from part one itself, right? So that flexibility obviously is higher in qualification like CFA, which does not even require any such conditions, right? Let's talk about FRM scholarship, because people tend to talk about FRM scholarship majorly because there is a scholarships available in CFA, right? Now, FRM scholarship is slightly little stringent. There is no direct scholarship available. That means you cannot go directly and ask them that, okay, give me an access scholarship, which is how it happens with the CFA program, right? And a lot of people tend to get the access scholarship, they tend to get the student scholarship as well. But in case of financial risk management certification, the scholarship is more majorly academic. That means if your institute is accredited with FRM, then you can avail this benefit. Otherwise, you cannot, right? So the best thing, if you want to check, is just go to their website and go to the academic partner section, and you will see whether you can get or not. Even if there is a situation where, let's say, your academic institution is a part of GARP, doesn't necessarily mean that you will get it, because the upper limit is just 6. That means only 6 people can be awarded the scholarship, right? And 1 for faculty out of that, right? So that is total of 7 scholarships, right? Let's move on to talking about cost. So what is the cost? Now, I've put in the cost for both part 1 and part 2 just to give an idea of what exactly is the budget that you need to look at. So FRM, if I look at part 1 for May 22, right? So it's about $950 if you are registering early, right? And if you're registering late, that increases to about 1150, which is compared to CFA programs, the early and the late registration is pretty wide. But in case of FRM, that's not the case. In case of FRM, the costs are pretty nearby, right? If you talk about from August onwards to November, so the cost is actually increased by $50. That is the reason why the November exam has also, I've put it at $1,000. But please remember that the FRM cost is not updated in the website. I've assumed the increment because I believe this increment has also come at the same time when the CFA program's cost has also increased. But the CFA program cost has increased significantly by about $250. The FRM is just increased by about $50, so that's fine, right? So the part 2 becomes cheaper because the registration cost is not there. So the one-time registration cost you've already paid. So that is the reason why that cost does not turn up here, right? So that's about $400 if you can see, right? So part 2 exams is partly pretty manageable. So if you look at the total cost, you would say that if you are registering early, then that's about 1,25,000, 1,30,000, and that is also one of the reasons why the membership has increased big time, right? Because a lot of CFA candidates also tend to do FRM. And since FRM part 1 is majorly has a lot of concepts of CFA level 1, hence it becomes easier to clear also. So that's the reason why probably the membership is also higher, right? Now let's talk about the exam pass rate and the format. So pass rates are obviously again higher than CFA, 45% at level 1 or part 1 and 63% at part 2. I don't know whether we should compare this to CFA, but just to give you an idea that yes, CFA program pass rates recently post-COVID has been going down significantly, and the last recorded CFA level 1 pass rate is about 27% on an average also, but FRM part 1 pass rates are higher than CFA level 1 pass rates. The possible reason for this is a lot of candidates who are already done CFA level 1 or a charter holder also tend to write the FRM part 1 exam for reasons which is beyond my understanding, but yes, that is the reason why your pass rates are higher, right? Now, the exam format is entirely MCQ based. Part 1 is got about 100 MCQ questions, and part 2 has got about 80 multiple choice questions. So the total exam duration is about 4 hours, so pretty manageable. Compared to, in fact, now CFA programs also about 4 hours. Earlier, the distinction was that the CFA exam was pretty longer and the FRM exam was easy to do because it was shorter. But I guess that's now history, right? Now, how do we prepare? So I'm going to give you a gist of the areas where you need to focus, including the time that needs to be dedicated for this preparation, right? So minimum of 240 hours is what FRM survey points out, that successful candidates have spent about 240 hours preparing for the FRM part 1 exams. But again, just with CFA level 1, how I've talked about the preparation strategy, my recommendation is to do at least 30 to 40% higher, which would somewhere around be about 320 to 336 hours, which is exactly how much time we require to do the CFA level 1 preparation, right? Now, in case of FRM, the strategy is not different from CFA, but yes, since it is a different qualification, the recommended structure of dividing these 320 or 330 hours is to spend 40% time reading, 40% time parallelly practicing, and whatever time is left, you should be doing the mocks, which anyways gets covered at the end, right? So but your 40% time reading, 40% time practicing has to be parallel. That means you do not do the practice later. Okay, so that will be a big mistake, because finding different time to practice, you would have already forgotten a lot of concepts at the start, right? So that was a short video on financial risk management certification. If you have any questions related to FRM, please do post in the comment box, and if you like the video, please share it with your friends, and I'll see you again in another video. See you. Bye bye.